Have you ever been swept up in the moment, elated, overwhelmed by the beauty of this world? Let's begin.
This is a beautiful thought.
Welcome, beautiful thinkers. So I've been reading this book. I'd like to talk about, what's the phrase he uses? Robert Waggoner in this book, he says, I am overwhelmed by the enormous beauty of this world. So this book is Lucid Dreaming, Gateway to the Inner Self, in which Robert Waggoner describes a lot of the potential of lucid dreaming and dreaming in general, even getting into ideas which seem a little out there, like telepathic dreaming or mutual dreaming, meeting other people that you know in real life or in regular waking physical reality and finding them in a dream and communicating with them. At the end of the book that I just arrived at today, he describes this experience, this dream that he had, a lucid dream, which it seems that in a sense that this was part of the inspiration for the book. And he describes being on a neighborhood street with a bunch of children and other people, about 20 people, and they're all singing. And in some moment, Robert notices, actually, they've been singing the same thing over and over and over. And in that moment, it occurs to him, oh, I am dreaming. And then they all applaud and they say, hey, this is wonderful that you became conscious here to be more present with us. And they start singing a chant together and they're having a great time. Robert starts noticing the people around him, what they're wearing, these Asian women in these delicate, elegant dresses made of silk and other things. And he pulls out his dream journal to start to sketch one of these women. And there's this music they're playing on these exotic Asian instruments. And while he's trying to get down the mouth of this woman on the page, he just becomes overwhelmed and he says, this is wonderful. This is simply wonderful. The whole thing is wonderful. And then he continues the last part of the dream report. He says, at this point, I truly become overwhelmed by the beauty and love in this lucid dream. I stand up and everyone looks my way. I say, when I awake in physical reality, as Robert Waggoner, born on January 28th in Kansas, sometimes the cold and snow of physical reality can get me down. But when I am here, in this reality, my voice starts to get emotional. I am overwhelmed by the enormous beauty of this world. Now, I think a lot of us can relate to what Robert said about the cold and snow of physical reality, feeling maybe like we're moving through treacle, trying to get to our goals, or being unable to notice that there might be something good about the situation we're in, feeling bogged down, stuck, impotent. How many of us can relate to that other feeling? The feeling of being overwhelmed by the enormous beauty of this world. I know that feeling. I've felt it. Maybe I will feel it again. Maybe I'm feeling just a little bit like that in this moment. When we look around us, of course, I've said many times, noticing the shapes, the colors, the lines in our view, the outlines and shadows, what's going on. Maybe it's been a long time since we notice those things. Maybe it's been since we were 4 years old, 3 or 4 years old, everything was still fresh and new and we're just beginning to form memories. What is it like to be a child? You ever look at the eyes of a child and you see they're absorbing everything. They're wide-eyed. Everything is new to them. Just like maybe when you walk into a new town, taking a walk here in Tlaquepaque in the greater Guadalajara area, you see that there are these brightly covered banners strung up across the street to represent the Day of the Dead, so we can show respect for those who have passed and in some form still watch over us. How wonderful to see those bright colors out there to celebrate life, overwhelmed with the beauty of the world. Thank you for listening. Thank you for noticing the overwhelming beauty of this world in every possible moment.
A beautiful thought.
Thanks for joining me. Remember to subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Download into your favorite podcasting app like Podcast Addict. And please share this with your friends so they can enjoy it as much as you did. And have a wonderful day.